Hi guys, today I want to talk about finding the right career for you, and I want to talk specifically about 7 workplace factors. And this is what it means. Different kind of people thrive in different kind of workplaces. For example, when I was working in banking, I worked in an open office on a floor where there were 100 or more people working together with no really separated working spaces. And while I could work relatively well in that working environment, I always knew that that was not my preferred kind of workplace. But of course, it's different for everyone. There are people, and you might be among them, who can't stay still at their desk. They need to be moving around or even working outside. They just can't stand still. So finding out for the long term what kind of career suits you best has a lot to do with knowing yourself better. There are many different things that can influence whether or not a career is right for you. And for example, that may include your passion, your purpose. It can even involve more material things such as compensation, because for some people, the salary, the compensation aspect is really important because they need to support their family or even extended family, etc. And that's all good. Everyone has different needs and preferences. What's important here is that you need to take the time and figure out what is important to you and what is not. Today, I want to talk specifically about 7 workplace factors that you need to consider for yourself in the long term if you want to have the kind of career that really suits you and your personality. The first one is outdoor versus indoor. This is something that not many people think about. There are people who spend their whole lives working indoors in a small office, and maybe at some point they realize that that is not something that really suits them, because they are more of an outdoorsy type who would rather walk around in the woods or maybe work in a garden or basically work outside and not indoors. But it is something that they never really realized or never really acknowledged to themselves, and that is why they ended up working indoors. Are you someone who likes to work indoors in front of a computer, or would you rather work outside, for example, on a construction site or in a field or with animals and so on? Number 2 is location. What kind of exact location would you really like to spend a lot of time at? For example, do you really like the atmosphere of an airport or perhaps of a cafe? I know a lot of people in the film industry who love working on set, on a film set, so much that it isn't really much of a deal in what function exactly they are working in. For them, what is important is that they get to be on set every day. The career that you choose will really affect your work surroundings. So if, for example, the university area atmosphere is something that you find really boring, that puts you to sleep, then don't ever think about becoming a faculty member or teaching at the university. Number 3 is what kind of encounters do you make at the workplace? Do you have to encounter complaining customers on a daily basis? Or if you work at a hospital or at a doctor's office, you meet sick people on a daily basis, and that could be something that is really depressing to you. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, because sometimes we do things that we don't like as much because there is a bigger purpose behind that. What I mean is that someone might feel uncomfortable dealing with sick people, but because they feel that they have a higher purpose or a calling, that they feel compelled to help these people, they might still do the job despite not liking it that much. What I'm saying is that you just need to be aware of these things so you can balance out between the factors in a career that you like and that you can accept versus those things that you perhaps dislike or make you a bit uncomfortable. By the way, in case you're new to this channel, I make videos on career change, and one of my goals is that I want to try to help people to have the kind of career that is best for their life and that they really want, instead of just following a traditional career path. So if you think that this is something that's interesting to you, then you might want to hit the subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the alarm bell. Number 4 is noise level or hazards. If you are someone who happens to be a bit more on on the paranoid side, then maybe working in an environment or in a factory where there are a lot of chemicals or heavy machinery might not be the best place for you. Or if you are someone who is really sensitive towards noise, who gets easily distracted even just by the sound of people walking behind your back or around you, then a workplace where they have an open office, like in many big corporations nowadays, might not be the best thing for you. By the way, this is a question for you. Do you know what your favorite working environment is? Or perhaps are there things that specifically really bother you? Please let me know in the comments below. Number 5 is proximity, the distance between your home and your workplace. And you really shouldn't underestimate this. If you count all the hours that it takes you to get to work in a traffic jam, get back from work until you settle down and wind down again, then you will be quite surprised. It adds up to a lot. From my own experience, there was a time when I was working in Jakarta and the traffic was horrible. So I would spend about an hour each morning to get to work, which was still fine. But on the way back, it could take me anywhere from 1.5 hours up to 2.5 hours. And if there was some problem on the street or there happened to be a flood, then it could even take 3 or 4 hours. Of course, it's not something that happens every day, but it's definitely something that I took into consideration. This means when choosing a career or choosing a job, you need to really think about how much is the added benefit or the additional compensation salary that you get from a particular job worth to you. By the way, in case you're enjoying this video so far, then please do give it a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. Number 6 is flexibility. Different kinds of people and personalities will have varying degrees of needs of flexibility. Some people are okay to stick to a 9-to-5 schedule or an 8-to-4 or whatever, while other people really need to be flexible. They want to set their own hours and they just want to work whenever they want to work. This is something that you need to take into consideration, because I think that the way that the modern workplace is built is actually not aligned with human beings. So the modern workplace is set up in a way that most people work between 9 and 5 or 10 to 6 or something around those lines, where in reality there's, I think, almost no human being who can work 7 or 8 hours straight without losing any productivity in the process. Usually during those 7 to 8 hours, people will only be productive for 5 hours, or actually, according to a study I read, even only 3 hours. So I think it makes sense that there are different kinds of people who feel that they can concentrate better, be more productive at different hours during the day, and maybe even on different days. Maybe some people will be productive for 3 days for 5 hours each, and then they just need a break, like 1 day break in the middle of the week, and so on. So you need to know yourself. What kind of rhythm do you follow? What kind of rhythm is best for you? If you feel that the 9-to-5 thing, I will just generalize it as 9-to-5, although there are different hours, of course. If you think that that is not something that is suitable to you, that's not something that allows you to work productively, you need to think in the long term what you will do about it. Perhaps you need to change your career to become a freelancer or maybe an entrepreneur. And so, of course, it's not something that you can do overnight. It will take some planning. It will take time to transition into that. But I think that the very first step is that you know more about yourself and you know what your preferences are. Number 7 is whether you want to work on an hourly basis or project basis or result-oriented basis. So if you work at an office in general, you are paid based on the number of hours you work, or you are paid a fixed salary monthly and you work more or less a certain number of hours. But then there are other kinds of work modes where you are compensated based on your result only. Meaning if you work as a freelancer or as a contractor, it means that the person assigning you the job doesn't care how many hours or how many hours you work or when you work. They just want you to get the job done. So for some people, they prefer not to be constantly monitored by their employer, not to be constantly checked on, but to be able to really independently plan and decide how they want to go about everything and just deliver the result. Number 8 is, are you someone who's okay to wear a uniform or perhaps a dress code, or do you want to be like completely free as to what you want to wear? The good thing is that nowadays, even in many big corporations, the dress code has become a bit more relaxed, meaning that you don't always have to be in shirt and tie, right? But in certain careers, for example in finance or in law, people will still expect you to at least wear a shirt. By the way, these turned out to be 8 workplace factors rather than 7. At a glance, each of these factors might look really minor. I mean, if we look at uniform, for example. Okay, so what if you have to wear a suit and a tie? If it's a job that you love, then it doesn't matter, right? And yeah, that's true. It doesn't mean that you should say no to a career just because there is one thing that you don't like. But of course, if there are several things that bother you about a certain career, for example, there are 5 things out of these 8 things that I mentioned that really bother you, then I think that it does make sense to take a step back and ask yourself, is it worth it to still pursue this particular career? Because in the long term, I think that anything that bothers you, even though it's really subjective, it might only bother you and not anyone else, it will have an effect on your health, on your physical health and your mental health. If it's just one thing, for example, you love your job, your career, but you can't stand the open office layout because it's just so loud and distracting, then you need to think in the bigger scheme, is it still worth pursuing this career that you love so much, even though there is this one minor thing that really bothers you? And it can be the case that you accept this as a personal challenge, that you challenge yourself to try to adjust to this situation. And only you yourself will be able to know in how far you will be able to accept the situation or not. So workplace factor or working conditions is just one out of many, many different things that influence whether a career is right for you or not, whether you can thrive in the career or not. And in the following weeks and months, I will make more videos which talk specifically about each of these factors. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, especially to those of you who stuck with me to the very end. I wish you an awesome day, all the best for your career and your plans ahead, and I hope to see you again soon.